airports. The Minister of Aviation and Aerospace Development, Mr. Festus Keyamo, in a post on his X handle this Thursday, announced the launch of Operation Airclean. He explained that the initiative aimed at eliminating corrupt practices and enhancing service delivery, among others, followed a rise in passengers' complaints at airports. The minister also approved the activation of mobile courts to expedite the prosecution of offenders, particularly youths, and a zero tolerance policy to be enforced against periodic change operators and car hire personnel engaging in unauthorized activities. Abuja has announced plans to inaugurate a new National Addressing Council (NAC) and a technical committee next year, according to a statement this Thursday by the Senior Special Assistant to the President on Media and Communications Office of the Vice President, Mr. Stanley Nkocha. It is part of the critical steps to revitalize the NAC in a bid to address challenges associated with the addressing system in Nigeria. It is also aimed at driving Nigeria's agenda on planning economic growth and finance inclusion through an effective national addressing system. The National Addressing System is a framework designed to establish a reliable and consistent method of assigning a geographic and numeric address to all buildings within an area. The government at the center says it remains committed to strengthening the security architecture across the country through modern equipment. The Director General of the National Orientation Agency, Malam Larry Issa Onilu, stated this at the flag off of the nationwide sensitization campaign against Get Rich Quick syndrome this Thursday in Abeokuta, represented by a director, Mr. Ruben Achento. The NOAA DG said though government is doing its best, but no government can do it alone without the collaboration of various stakeholders. According to him, government cannot address the issue of get rich quick syndrome alone without security agencies, parents, teachers, religious organizations, among others. In their goodwill messages, the commander of Amotekun in the state, Mr. Alade Adediba, and the NDLEA Ogun Command Director, represented by the Public Relations Officer, Mr. Harris Musa, called on Nigerians to continue to be security conscious in their various communities and continue to provide useful information to security agencies for action. History was made on Wednesday at the Federal Capital Territory FCT Council of the Nigerian Union of Journalists (NUJ) when Comrade Grace Ike of the Advocate Broadcasting Network emerged unopposed as the chairman of the council. Comrade Ike, who was the immediate past chairman of the House of Representatives Press Corps office, beat three other male opponents to emerge winner. Ike was the first female after 40 years ever to aspire to the office since the FCT Council emerged. She was sworn in alongside four other executive members to run the council for the next 3 years. In her inauguration speech, Comrade Ike said her election marks a new dawn for all journalists in the nation's capital. She hinted that her aim is to reposition NUJ FCT Council through innovative projects that would impact directly on the welfare of all members. The European Union, in line with the saying that disability is not inability, has called on the ministries, departments, and agencies of the federal government to commit to fully implementing the provisions of the National Disability Act. It emphasized that the Act outlines comprehensive policies and practices to accommodate and empower persons with disabilities, fostering an inclusive environment that values diversity and promotes social equity. The EU at a national dialogue in Abuja to mark this year's International Day of Persons with Disabilities this Thursday said the impact of the Act remains null without effective implementation. Representing the EU ambassador designated to Nigeria, Mr. Gautier Mignot, the head of the Governance, Security and Migration section at the EU delegation to Nigeria and ECOWAS, Mr. Ruben Aguilera, expressed concern over the exclusion of persons with disabilities in development planning. In a related development, as the International Day of Volunteer is marked worldwide this Thursday, a proponent of volunteering, Mr. Abiodun Lashile, called for collaborative efforts in giving volunteering its pride of place. Mr. Lashile, who spoke with OGBC in Abeokuta against the backdrop of the day, observed that Nigeria still have a long way to go in embracing the culture of volunteering. He, however, expressed the firm belief that by working together, the country can create a more inclusive, equitable, and sustainable future for everyone. Quoting the United Nations Secretary General Antonio Guterres, who said volunteers embody the best humanity, Mr. Lashile urged all to draw inspiration from the example of the volunteers on this important day and resolve to do their part to help shape a better world for all. According to him, the day also points attention to the importance of working together to create a better world, which helps break barrier and stigma, promote accessible education, employment, and healthcare, foster inclusive communities and societies, as well as ensure equal rights and opportunities for all. The Academic Staff Union of Universities also has appealed to the federal government not to systemically phase out the Tertiary Education Trust Fund, TED Fund, which has transformed tertiary educational institutions in Nigeria in the last 3 decades. ASU pointed out that suffocating the funding source of TED Fund to run the Nigerian Education Loan Fund, NEL Fund, would destroy public education in the country. The ASU president, Mr. Emmanuel Oshodeke, in an interview this Thursday, said the only source of funding is from TED Fund, adding that if destroyed, the public universities have been destroyed. He alleged that some members of the ruling class want to destroy public universities and ensure that the children of the poor remain slaves. Architect Babatunde Jalal has been appointed as the 10th substantive director of the Moshood Abiola Polytechnic, Nigeria, Abeokuta, by Governor Dapo Abiodun. His appointment was conveyed through a letter signed by the Commissioner for Education, Science and Technology, Professor Abayomi Aribabu, to the Chairman, Governing Council of Mapoli, Professor Kamaldin Balogun. Announcing the appointment at the council chambers midweek, Professor Balogun appreciated the governor for his continuous support to the Polytechnic and wished the new rector a successful tenure. Architect Jola, a chief lecturer in the Department of Architecture of the Polytechnic, takes over from Dr. Adioye Odediji, whose tenure expires this Thursday after the completion of a single term of 5 years. The new rector, who is also an alumnus of Ogun State Polytechnic and Ahmadu Bello University, Zaria, has about 78 publications and 4 research activities to his credit. The government in the Gateway State has expressed determination to continue to record success in its various empowerment initiatives with a view to projecting the state as the best among its peers. The Deputy Governor, Engineer Noimot Salapo Yedele, gave the assurance while playing host to a team from 3 northern states in Nigeria for Women Project NFWP Scale Up Peer Learning. According to her, the choice of the state as a hub of learning for other states on the implementation of the Nigeria for Women project for the federal government is a testament to the huge success being recorded on the project in the Gateway States. Also speaking, the State Commissioner for Women Affairs and Social Development, Honorable Adijat Adeleye, who led the team to the Deputy Governor's office, explained that the delegation was in the state to study the modalities being adopted for the successful implementation of NFWP Scale-Up in the 3 northern states. In their remarks, the commissioners for women affairs from Katsina, Zamfara, and Jigawa states commended the state government for its open door policy that has rubbed off on the NFWP implementation, adding that they would put into use all they learnt from Ogun. The Akaribo and paramount ruler of Remoland, of Babatunde Ajayi, has been described as a beacon of wisdom and a visionary leader whose reign has brought peace, progress, and unity to Remoland. The Commissioner for Local Government and Chieftaincy Affairs, Honorable Ganiyu Hamzat, gave that description in a congratulatory message to the monarch on his birthday. According to him, Remoland has seen growth and harmony as the monarch has worked tirelessly to uplift the community and strengthen the bonds and culture. The commissioner also acknowledged Oba Ajayi's commitment to the welfare of the people, wisdom in governance, and exemplary integrity, which has left an indelible mark on the sand of time. Now to sport. Super Falcons goalkeeper Chiamaka Nadozie has been shortlisted for the prestigious 2024 CAF Women's Player of the Year award. The Paris FC shortstopper will compete against four other standout players for the top honor. The other nominees include Morocco's Sana Musodi, Zambia's Barbara Banda, and Malawian Tabitha Chawinga and Themwa Chawinga. In addition to the Women's Player of the Year nomination, Nadozie is also vying for the Women's Goalkeeper of the Year award. The 22-year-old clinched the inaugural Goalkeeper Award in 2023 and will be aiming to defend her title. That was the news on OGBC, packaged by Elizabeth Kuforije. For exclusive programs and the latest news updates, visit our website at okunradio.ng. Follow us on Facebook at Okun Radio Abeokuta and on X handle at OGBC 905.